Module 6, Session 2, Rights and Responsibilities under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Let's check what you already know about rights and responsibilities as employees. Just tell whether you agree or disagree on each statement. First statement, the Philippine work week consists of 45 hours. Agree or disagree? The statement was false. According to Article 83 of Philippine Labor Code, normal hours of work per week is 40 hours. Young people under the age of 15 may work if they have their parents' permission. Agree or disagree? The statement is false. According to Article 139, young people under the age of 15 may not be employed. The official employment age is 15. Next, employers may require its employees to work even during rest days. Do you agree or disagree? The statement is true. Under the law, you can be required to work under certain conditions. The following conditions are written on Article 92 of Philippine Labor Code. Workers should not get involved in policy decisions about his or her rights because the government is the one making those decisions. Do you agree or disagree? The statement was false. If an individual wants to express his or her opinion about his rights, he can do that by participating in policy and decision-making processes that affect his right. Last statement, workers are entitled to paid leave at the employer's expense. Agree or disagree? That is correct. Employers have the responsibility to provide annual incentive leave to its employees. It is stated in Article 95, Right to Service Incentive Leave. What is Labor Code of the Philippines? It is a legal code that determines all employment practices and labor relations. This is to help protect employees and employers while ensuring that neither is subject to unfair treatment. Responsibilities of employers. An employer's main responsibility is to make sure that the workplace is safe and that anyone working in or visiting the workplace is not exposed to hazards or harmed by the work. Responsibilities of the workers. Employees have responsibilities towards their employers, even if they work part-time or don't have a written contract with their employers. Listed are general responsibilities of employees. Here are some of Labor Code excerpts. Protection of workers. The state shall protect labor, promote full employment, provide equal work opportunity regardless of gender, race, or creed, and regulate employee-employer relations. Male and female employees are entitled to equal compensation for work of equal value and to equal access to promotion and training opportunities. Discrimination against female employees is unlawful. Employers must provide workers with every kind of on-the-job protection against injury, sickness, or death through safe and healthful working conditions. Minimum wages in Philippines refer to daily minimum wages in non-agriculture sector in the National Capital Region. Minimum wage rates are set at a regional level by regional tripartite wages and productivity boards. Minimum wages in National Capital Region is at 537 pesos per day since 2019. While for the domestic workers, minimum wage rate is at 5,000 pesos monthly. Employment of minors. Under Republic Act No. 9231, children below the age of 15 are not allowed to be employed in any public or private establishments, except when they work directly under the sole responsibility of their parents or guardian, or when their participation in public entertainment or public information is essential. In Department Circular Number 2, a working child permit is required if the child will be engaged in public entertainment or information, whether local or overseas, and regardless of the child's role. A permit is also needed if the child will be featured in documentary materials unless it is a school-related project. Hours of work. Article 83 of the Labor Code enunciates that the normal hours of work of any employee shall not exceed 8 hours a day. This is exclusive of the 1 hour lunch break. Night shift differential pay. Every employee shall be paid a night shift premium of not less than 10% of their regular wage for each hour of work performed between 10:00 p.m. and 6:00 a.m. Article 87. Overtime work. Work may be performed beyond 8 hours a day provided that the employee is paid for the overtime work, which consists of an additional compensation equivalent to his regular wage plus at least 25%. Work performed beyond 8 hours on a holiday or rest day shall be paid an additional compensation equivalent to the rate of the first 8 hours plus at least 30% thereof. Right to weekly rest day. It shall be the duty of every employer to provide each of his employees a rest period of not less than 24 consecutive hours after every 6 consecutive normal work days. Can an employer require his employee to work on his rest day? The employer may require his employee to work on rest day in the following instances written in Article 92 of the Labor Code. An employee may also volunteer to work on his rest day provided he shall express it in writing and he shall be paid additional compensation. Likewise, an employee who is made or permitted to work on his scheduled rest day shall be paid an additional compensation. Holiday pay. During regular holidays, if the employee did not work, he or she shall be paid 100% of his or her salary for days indicated, basic wage plus COLA times 100%. While for work done during the regular holiday, the employee shall be paid 200% of his or her regular salary for the first 8 hours, basic wage plus COLA times 200%. For overtime work, this is work done more than 8 hours, he or she shall be paid an additional 30% of his or her hourly rate of the basic wage times 200% times 130% times number of hours worked. If an employee works on a regular holiday that also falls on his or her rest day, he or she shall be paid an additional 30% of his or her basic wage of 200%, or basic wage plus COLA times 200% plus 30 basic wage times 200%. Service incentive leave of 5 days with pay is given to every employee who has rendered at least 1 year of service in the company. This is a mandatory benefit as laid down in Article 95 of the Labor Code with the title, Right to Service Incentive Leave. Maternity leave shall be granted to female workers in every instance of pregnancy, miscarriage or emergency termination of pregnancy, regardless of frequency, provided that for cases of miscarriage or emergency termination of pregnancy, 60 days maternity leave with full pay shall be granted. Republic Act No. 11210 is an act increasing the maternity leave period to 105 days for female workers with pay and an option to extend for an additional 30 days without pay. This also grants extension of 15 days for solo mothers and for other purposes. The maternity leave can be availed of regardless of the civil status of the mother or her child's legitimacy. A female employee who experienced miscarriage or those who delivered stillbirth can still avail of maternity leave. She is entitled to 60 days maternity leave with full pay. Article 2, Section 6 of the new law allows any female worker who will avail of maternity leave to transfer up to 7 of her 105 days of paid leave to the child's father, whether they are married or not. In effect, this measure increases the number of paternity leave to 14 days from the existing 7 days under RA 8187 or the Paternity Leave Act of 1996. Solo parent leave benefits are given to employees left alone with the responsibility of parenthood. The benefit applies to all solo parents. The benefit consists of 7 working days of leave credits with full pay. The employees are required to obtain a solo parental ID from the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Take note that the benefit is not convertible to cash. Leave due to gynecological disorders. This benefit refers to a female employee's leave entitlement of up to 2 months with full pay based on her gross monthly compensation following surgery caused by gynecological disorders. Gynecological disorders are disorders that would require surgical procedures such as, but not limited to, dilation and curettage, and those involving female reproductive organs such as the vagina, cervix, uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, breast, adnexa, and pelvic floor. Gynecological surgeries shall also include myomectomy, hysterectomy, ovariectomy, and mastectomy. Women employees, regardless of age and civil status, may avail the special leave benefit. Let's have an activity. Scenario 1. Melanie has been hired to work as an office assistant for a new business in Zamboanga. After being on the job for about a month, one day her supervisor told her that if she would spend the night with him, he would make sure she will be promoted. She said she was not interested, but he cornered her, twisted her arm behind her, and threatened to fire her if she didn't comply with his demands. Melanie was able to run away and told her friends about the incident. What is the issue on scenario 1? That's right, the issues are sexual harassment, abuse of authority, and disrespect. What do you think the Philippine law says about this type of harassment? Yes, sexual harassment is against the law and should not be tolerated. The law also protects people at work and in education and training environments. If you were Melanie's friends, what advice will you give to her? Correct. We can advise her 3 things. Report the case to the people in authority, leave the job, and tell her parents. Are there groups or organizations that provide services to women who have been harassed? Women who have been harassed may ask assistance from Department of Social Welfare and Development, City or Municipal Social Welfare and Development Department, and LGU based under the Office of the Mayor, and the Philippine National Police Women's Desk, present in all local government units. Scenario 2. Manny recently started working for a construction company. His supervisor told him that because he was so smart and fit for the job, he did not need training in the use of the equipment. He would learn by doing instead. One day, he was trying to use a table saw that he had never used before. He cut himself badly on one of his hands, and it began to bleed profusely, but he did not know where the first aid kit was located. His co-workers did 2 things to help him. What is the issue happened in the second scenario? That's right, issues are lack of training, he did not ask for help or instructions, and his carelessness. What do you think Philippine law says about health and safety at work? The Secretary of Labor and Employment should establish mandatory safety and health standards to eliminate or reduce hazards in the workplace. Employers should also provide full instructions to workers on how to stay healthy and safe in the workplace, and they should use only approved devices and equipment in the workplace. What steps should be taken next? Apply first aid, and then go to the nearest hospital. How can such a situation be prevented in the future? That's correct. The supervisor should give clear safety instruction. The employee should also make it a point to ask and learn about safety. Betsy, a young and single mother, had been working long hours at the restaurant. She hadn't had a day off in over a month and often worked 55 hours per week. One day, her child became very sick with dengue, so she called the restaurant to let them know she could not come to work. Her boss was annoyed, murmuring that she will look for someone more reliable than Betsy. Betsy became worried that she's going to lose her job. She told her friends about her problems, and her friends gave her two options. What is the issue on this scenario? There are three issues on this scenario. First, deprived of right to take leave of absence. Second, no sick leave at the restaurant for her position. And last, she worked for more than 40 hours a week. What do you think the law says about number of work hours and time off? That's right. According to our law, we have 40 work hours per week and we have the right to overtime. How should Betsy handle this situation? Betsy have 5 options. Make an arrangement with her supervisors, or she may see if someone else in the family who can watch the baby. Third, she may also see a co-worker who can cover her shift, or she may opt to consult with the Department of Labor and Employment and report to the authority. What are the possible consequences? If she chooses to make an arrangement with her supervisor, she might have a productive conversation with her and they find a solution. If she chooses to see someone else in the family who can watch the baby, her sister, cousin, or mother can help take care of the baby. If she chooses to see a co-worker who can cover her shift, a co-worker might agree to take her shift, and the supervisor might also approve of that. If she chooses to consult with the Department of Labor and Employment, the department can provide her with the information that she can use to handle this situation. And if she chooses to report to authority, the Department of Labor or other authorities might contact the restaurant and take action. Her supervisor may get upset, or the Department of Labor might intervene and make sure that her rights are honored. Take note, after you graduate or when you reach the right age, you will be joining the millions of young people in the workforce. It is important to know your rights, as well as your responsibilities. Both employees and employers have rights and responsibilities. Let us know and respect these. If at any time we feel that our rights are being violated, be informed that there are labor laws and processes for addressing employees' concerns.